Hello and welcome to Shredder Zoo. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Shredder and this here is my zoo. Yeah, this is brilliant. I've been planning out a new enclosure to build today. Last time out we did a tour of all the enclosures so far built, so we really need to get back to building and we're going to build a new enclosure. So I've again, as I normally do, I've planned it out in thatch, or at least planned out the beginnings of it in thatch, and then we're going to start moving on to better materials and making it look a lot better than it is right now. So this is going to be for the Ankylosaur. If you've been watching my Gaming Evolved server series that I do, if you saw yesterday's episode in particular, you'll know that I've been breeding up a lot of Ankylosaurs there, and I'm not going to need all of those on that server, so I'm going to take a couple of spare ones, transfer them through the obelisk over there, and bring them into the zoo. Yeah, this seems to be the perfect thing to build. So the plan is, I have a raised area here. This is going to be where they shelter. So with all my enclosures, they've always got a little bit of shelter and a little bit of an outside area. You can see that with the die bear enclosure there that we built a few episodes ago. And so this is going to be their shelter. And they've got a ramp coming down here. And they're going to, they've got this little area which I will fence off like I've done with the dire bears here. And we'll try and include some of these rocks in the enclosure, so they've got a bit of terrain, a bit of feature, and it'll look quite nice. So I've also, the other plan is a kind of a visitors area here. So I've got this very fancy looking spiral staircase leading up to the top. I will rail off a couple of these foundations or ceilings here, so the visitors can come up here and get up close and personal with the animals and see them in that enclosure here. And we'll maybe get a little bit fancy here with maybe some more glass, some windows, things like that. But yeah, so that's, I think I'm going to do, what do you reckon, stone I think up here would look quite good, and maybe I'll replace this with a stone staircase. No, the wood doesn't look too bad, and this will be stone, and then this will be sort of natural ground, all enclosed off for the Ankylosaurs to roam around in. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we get started on that, there's something else I want to show you. I got myself a spray painter, and the first time I've ever used one, and I kind of went a little bit crazy. Are you ready for this? So if you saw the Procoptodon, Ovis and Moschops enclosure, you'll know that I was complaining that it looked a little bit too woody. It was all made out of wood. Well, I've kind of made a few changes. Here it is, it looks completely different now. So what I've done is I've painted everything, and first thing I did was I replaced the floor. This was all wood. I replaced it with thatch to give a kind of grass look. Now someone in the comments suggested I paint it green. That's exactly what I've done to give the kind of grass look. Now it does look quite artificial. I'm not too sure. I think it looks okay. It breaks up the wood definitely. As always, please let me know what you think in the comments. But I thought once I painted the thatch here, I thought, well, why stop here? Let's paint everything. So I went a little bit crazy. I painted all the tops of the roofs, this kind of orangey browny kind of colour, and then I painted the triangle parts a parchment colour, I think that was, and I really like that look actually. And then I painted the railings kind of a browny colour, and the pathway here a black, I think it was. And yeah, I think it looks okay. I don't know, you have to let me know what you think about the colour scheme. But I think it was all completely wood, and it looked a little bit too much, and some people did say it looked too woody. There was too much wood used. So I think just painting it, even if I can't come up with that many different materials, we've only got thatch, wood, stone and metal to play with in Ark. But painting things, I hadn't really thought about painting it before, but I think just painting, even if you make it all out of wood, you just paint different colours, it's definitely going to make it look, it's going to break it up and make it look not quite so the samey. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Let me know what you think. But I think that means at some point we're going to have to go around the entire zoo with our spray gun and really go to town and to brighten this place up a bit. I think maybe I'll dedicate a whole episode to painting. Let me know what you think about that, if that's something you want to see me go around and paint everything. But today that's not what we're going to be doing. We are going to be building an Ankylosaur enclosure. I think I made a good start here. So I think the first thing to do is to replace everything I've got here with stone. I think is the best thing. So I need to gather up some stone. I have to get my Dirty Curious out, Katia Craft. We'll get her out to grab me some stone. I'll try not to take the stone from here because I want to use this within the enclosure. We can get it from over there somewhere. I'm sure there's some stone we can find. But I'll do all that off camera because you don't need to see me gathering stone. So I'll get that all done, and once I'm ready to go, we'll get going. So I'll see you very shortly. Okay, well that's everything replaced with stone, and I think that makes a good start. So there's a few things we want to get done really. This area here needs to be made into a proper little room. I think maybe I'll put some windows along here because if the Ankylosaurs are going to be wandering up and down this ramp, we don't want them wandering over here and crushing the visitors. So this is definitely going to need to be blocked off. So I think some window frames there would look good. I think maybe a couple of walls down there. What do I need for walls? I've got enough for a wall. I can build a couple of walls, that's good. We'll stick them like that. We'll wall that bit off. That looks pretty good. Yes, a couple of window frames there. And what do we reckon? This will want to be kept fairly open. Maybe a few more. I've got a couple more. Let's put a couple more there down. There we go. That makes it look pretty good. Nice sort of area. We can walk up there, so we don't need ramps necessarily. But so the rest of this area here needs to be fenced off, so I need lots of metal railings. I think I've got a load back at base which I made up previously. I'll go and check those in a moment. But other than that, I think we're going to need some glass to go along here. That'd be quite nice, and some railings to go through here. And then of course we need to fill in the rest of this. I think maybe with windows. Yeah, windows all along here. Yeah, lots and lots of windows I think we'll need. So yeah, I'll go and make those, and then when I come back we'll get this bit built up. It'll look quite nice I think. Okay, so I've gathered up a few materials. I haven't got anything for the roof yet, but we'll get to that in a moment. That may well be, might do that out of wood. I think that looks quite nice. A lot of the roofs around here are made out of wood, so to keep it in kind of with the keeping with the rest of the zoo, I think stone walls and a wood roof. So first thing I want to do, let's start with the windows. I'm going to put windows all the way around the outside. We're going to go around, let's see, up until here. Well, I'm going to have glass on this side for all the visitors, but the first two here, first two sections, this one and this one, are going to be where the visitors go. So from this point here, that's where the windows are going to go. So we can stick this in. The windows here just kind of lets light in, lets the Ankylos get a nice view. I don't know whether they appreciate view. I believe I haven't actually done my research on Ankylosaurs yet, but from what I remember, Ankylosaurs are actually pretty stupid. Even as far as dinosaurs go, they have extremely small brains. Even for a dinosaur. Most dinosaurs did have quite small brains. But yeah, so I haven't done full research on it, so I don't take that as as for definite until I do the educational special. I can talk all about it then. Okay, so that's that. What else do we want to do? Oh yeah, I want some more windows down here. We're going to block off this part with windows. Actually no, I've changed my mind on this one. I want to put some railings here. I think railings would look quite nice, but I'm going to build them up a little bit. So similar to how I've got it in the Parasaur, no, the Parasauritherium enclosure. I've got a little section which is kind of completely blocked off by wooden railings, and you get this nice kind of checker pattern, and I think that looks pretty cool because you can still get quite a good view, and yeah, it's not completely blocked off by stone walls. I think that looks pretty good. We're going to have, we'll carry on actually. I'll need some more railing. I might need to get some more. I think we'll put this way. Let's, I could do metal, because the rest of it's going to be metal. Well, to see how the wood looks, and then we'll see how that mixes in with the metal I do later on. There we go, that's all the railings. I'm going to need a few more actually, because I want to put some up here. And if I've got any wood on me, no, I haven't got any wood on me at the moment. That's fine, we could do that a little bit later on. So this is going to be glass, this is going to be glass, that's going to be glass. I think actually we're about ready to go. So I need to go and get some, what do we need now? Glass, more railings, some metal railings and fence foundations to be able to enclose off this area. And I think, should we do, let's see, visitors are going to want to come up this way. I wonder whether a ramp there would actually, it would look better, wouldn't it? I probably will put a ramp up here, even though you can just walk up it. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty good. We've got space here for signs, and we've got more signs up here. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm excited how this is going to turn out. Alright, so I'm going to gather some more resources, and I'll see you back soon. Okay guys, I think I've got some enough materials to get the next stage done. I have already placed around the fence foundations in the area, completely enclosing this section of rocks. I think it's actually going to look really, really good, and I'll show you that from the air in a moment. But I just want to put down the glass greenhouse walls around the outside here, just to see what that's going to look like. I think it's going to look pretty good. And we've got one more which we'll put go on like that, and then what have I got? I've got four more. Four more. Okay, well let's put those on. I'll probably want a few more actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that works out okay. But what I want is probably another couple, and then we're going to want to think about getting a roof on here as well. So that's fine. But let's do the railings now. Let me just quickly hop into the air, and I'll show you what it looks like. And you can see this kind of, let's get up a bit higher, so you can see this kind of area here like that. That looks pretty good. So this area here is where all the rocks are, and I've gone around, completely enclosed all these kind of rocks. So I think this is actually going to look really, really nice. Now I've managed to get this lined up and be pretty straight. There's a really nice technique actually, by placing a fence foundation along the edge of this stone foundation. I was then able to snap the fence foundations to this area so that they came out at the right angle, so that as they came round this way they matched up pretty nicely, and that's gone away over to this point here. So I've got myself 61 metal railings. I will have to see if that's enough. I had a load made over because I made up lots and lots when I was building the dire bear enclosure, and yeah, I think that was the last time I used them, and I made a whole load up because I put on the second railings all the way around where the beavers and the Daedalus were. So I had loads and loads of railings made up. Took ages to collect all that stuff, but it's fine because it's going to look good. So I'm going to get started. So I'm going to put this all the way around, and we'll see how far we can get. And that's it. So that's all the railings that I had. So I haven't quite got enough to go 2 all the way around. I'm wondering how high I actually want it. 2, maybe 3. So I'm going to need a lot more. Yeah, okay. Well, I can do that. That's not a problem. We've got a big old forge over by the volcano with plenty of metal there, and cementing paste. I've got a lot of cementing paste. So metal railings isn't really a problem. It's just a case of making a cut, and when I come back, I'll have some more. Alright guys, so I have done 3 high railings all the way around the outside, which I think looks absolutely perfect, and I've also placed on a bit of a roof on the hut for the shelter, I should say, for the Ankylos. So basically I've done the wood at the top here, so I've done wooden sloped roofs along the back here and the wooden ceilings. I've put in a stone pillar in the corner here to kind of support the roof. Now the last little bit I want to do is to place on the visitor section, so I should have exactly the right amount of stuff. So as long as I don't make any mistakes, we're good. So we have those on there. We've got some walls which are going to go along the top row here, one more, nice and high, and then I've got some ceilings that should be the exact amount, so please don't make any mistakes. I don't want to have to go make any more. And then 2 more. It's going to be good. There we go. That looks so good. Okay, so let's have a look. We have a nice little visitor area here. We're hot because the sun is beating down through the glass. But yeah, so you can get right up close to the Ankylosaurs, and you can kind of stand over here and watch them in their enclosure there. If you wanted to, let's just quickly jump down. We'll grab nearly fly, come round, and we can just land over here. So after visiting the dire bears, you can look at the dire bears there, and then you can go straight across to the Ankylosaurs and watch them wandering around in their enclosure. If you can see them past the rocks, there are quite a lot of rocks in here, but I think that looks really, really good. So I think we're done. So I guess what we could do, we could do a little bit of painting to finish it off, and then of course we actually need to go and get some Ankylosaurs. So I think, let me see, I think, shall I paint it? Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a little bit of paint. I think mainly just the wooden parts at the top here. I did like that parchment colour that we did the Procoptodon enclosure over there. It made it look real nice, kind of pine colour on the inside. So maybe I'll do the walls around here like that colour. And yeah, we'll see how that looks. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back to you. Okay guys, I've painted it. I think I've gone a bit crazy with the paint, but here we go. I've given it just a splash of colour really. So Ankylos are mostly orange, so I thought I'd give it a kind of an orangey kind of paint scheme to it. So I've painted a whole load of stuff orange. The visitors area section is all kind of orangey colour. It's kind of this reddish brick kind of colour. The top of the roof there is a real deep red. These awesome sort of parchment coloured beams here, and on the inside, or the inside of the wood here is all parchment colour, just to brighten up a little bit. But that's a little thought. It's just a kind of a play around. These things can easily be changed at any time. So let me know what you think of the colour scheme. I don't know. It's the first time I've tried painting things, so it's maybe not going to look the best, but a few changes, maybe that'll look quite nice. So I guess the only thing left to do now is to go and get the Ankylosaurs. So I'm going to hop off to the obelisk. The nearest one is over there. I need to get my Quetzal to carry them back, and then we'll put a couple of Ankylos in there. So I'm pretty excited about it. So once I've got those back, I will see you soon. Alright guys, I'm at the Red Tower, which is the closest obelisk to my zoo, and I'm going to download creature data. Now I have 2 Ankylos here. I have Archimedes, who was from my first series of Ark. He's been sitting in there for a very long time, and I have an Ankylo which I've uploaded from the Gaming Evolved server. So we'll go for this one first of all. We're going to download the dino. We'll leave the other one in there until I've gotten this one over to the zoo. And we'll come back and we'll get Archimedes. So I'm going to get both of these Ankies back to the zoo, and I will meet you back there. Alright guys, we're back at the enclosure, and here we go. This is our new Ankylo, which needs a name. If anybody has any suggestions, if they want it named after them, let me know. And we have Archimedes, who was my Ankylo from the first series of Ark I ever did, and I've kind of forgotten how amazing his coloration is. Let's take his saddle off. And yeah, I've forgotten how amazing he looked. This super colouring. I really like this dino. It's been absolutely ages since I last saw him. Brilliant. So there we go. That's our 2 Ankies in our enclosure. They are a male and female, so we're going to get some eggs and things. And yeah, this is the new enclosure. So please let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. and hopefully I will see you out next time, because I think this is going to be that's all for today. So I just want to say one last thing. This is a kind of a message for everybody who's made it to the end of this video. You guys are the real super fans who watch the whole thing, and I just want to know that I've just passed 500 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. And I did say that when I reached 500 I would launch a Patreon campaign, and I've done that. So I now have a live Patreon site which you can go on there and you can donate from as $1 a month. Now I don't expect anybody to actually do it just yet, but it's there if anybody does feel the need. You know, if you find these videos of some kind of use to you, whether it's the educational stuff or just the entertainment of building the zoo, then and you want to show your appreciation, then it's there if you want to, but don't feel like you have to. It really makes no difference to me. It's just I love doing this, and it's just there for anybody who wants to, and that's all I wanted to say about it. So I will leave a link to it in the description, all that sort of stuff. But I think for now, for today, the Ankylosaur enclosure is done. We've got the Ankylosaurs here. The zoo is one step closer to the end, but we're still a long way from that. We've got so much more to do, so I hope you'll come back next time and we'll build another enclosure. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.